Hello everyone, my name is JordonAM, and it's actually been a bit since I made that video on my custom PC and what I can run. I did mention that I would upgrade the PC in the future, so that was the sleeper PC that I got. I'd like to thank the seller for building this decent machine. I'll probably upgrade it later, maybe switch out the CPUs. Well, I'm happy to say that I was finally able to do so. But that's not all. Not only did I upgrade my PC, I also built my cousin Odii.Gii his first ever gaming and creation rig as well, which I also mentioned in one of the No Tomfoolery podcasts. Basically, so like if we build you a PC, David, we might go for an Athlon since it's cheaper, and we could probably mix it out with a cheaper GPU as well. So as we all know, our good friend coronavirus fucked up a lot of things. One of the things that it fucked up was my semester in college, so I returned home to Indianapolis. Indiana Tech began giving housing and meal plan refunds, and I saw a large sum of money go into my account. So I did what I said I would do. I checked PC Part Picker and set a budget for the build and the upgrades. Here's what I did for Odii.Gii's build. So first, like I said in that podcast episode, for the CPU I went and got the Athlon 3000G. It's a very cheap CPU and perfect for entry-level PCs. It can overclock to 3.9 GHz, so it can do a bit of heavy lifting if needed, even though it still only has 2 cores. I got a Gigabyte B450M AM4 motherboard to place it in. It doesn't have Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, so I threw in a Wi-Fi dongle, seeing as he's nowhere near an Ethernet port on the router. For RAM, I got two 4GB sticks of Corsair Vengeance 2400 MHz DDR4 RAM. It's dual channel, which is really good for AMD CPUs, so I assume that it will perform really well. We'll probably expand the memory later, but like I said, as of now, we're going for a budget. For the GPU, I chose a GTX 1650 4GB low profile. For now, this is a placeholder GPU since we're also trying to be as efficient with our wattage as possible. Plus, I didn't want to deal with using a pin connector for the GPU. Just sliding it into the motherboard is pretty quick and easy. We put a 500 watt Thermaltake PSU into the PC case, so when we later upgrade that Athlon, it'll accommodate for the power needed. For storage, I chose a PNY 120GB SSD for booting up Windows and a 1TB hard drive for game and music storage. I also got him a new monitor since he was stuck with this janky 1080i Philips TV. I replaced it with a 144Hz 1080p ViewSonic gaming monitor. On to games, we'll start with one of his favorite games, Fortnite, which is the main game we were aiming for to run well when making the PC. Now, it doesn't take a whole lot to run Fortnite on PC, but we wanted to run better than on his Xbox One S, which is what he plays on regularly. And I believe we achieved that. We got around 120 FPS, and we capped it there to reduce stuttering due to that dual-core Athlon. I can say though, he's definitely liking it. The second game we tried was Apex Legends. We don't play the game a whole lot, mostly because we have our reasons and criticisms with the game. But it did really well. We were hitting an average of 103 frames per second, which was really strange, constant frame rate, but it definitely helped when playing. Well, when we didn't die to bullshit reasons. The third game was Valorant. Not my cup of tea, but he's very so-so about the game. It's kind of a love-hate relationship with the game, and which I completely understand because I have a lot of things against that game. And the game ran as smooth as expected. We were getting around 144 frames per second, and a lot of times even over that while playing, which was way better than when he was stuck on his old laptop, which barely even went over 50 frames per second. Fourth game was GTA 5. Usually the game on Xbox One plays around 30 or 25 frames per second in some situations. David decided to put his settings at 1080p low and was achieving around 70 frames per second, making the game look really smooth. Of course, there's a few stutters here and there, but hey, it's an Athlon. Heck, I mean, it's holding up really well, and he's having a good time with it. Overall, I'm really impressed by how the PC is holding up, and for his first entry PC, I think it'll do well for a while. The only thing I would see upgrading is that Athlon 3000G because more cores doesn't hurt. Might have to go for that Ryzen 3 1200AF once the prices aren't absolutely capping. You know, it's supposed to be at $60, but it's almost at $80, so yeah, it's pretty capped right now. But yeah, and his music production is doing really great, and video editing as well. It's absolutely more than enough for convenience and ease of use. It's definitely way better than that hand-me-down laptop that he was stuck with for quite a while, and he's definitely voiced his disdain for the laptop. So I was finally like, you know what, we're gonna build you a new PC, and we did, and it works. So I'm really happy about that one. Now for my upgrades. So to recap, my original build was an Intel i5 4400 at 3.1 gigahertz, couldn't overclock it. An RX 580 8GB and 16GB of DDR3 1600 megahertz RAM. It was honestly fine where it was at, but I kind of wanted more performance on my PC, so I bought an AMD Ryzen 5 2600, an RX 5500 XT 8GB, and two 8GB sticks of Corsair Vengeance 3200 MHz RAM. Now, I know there's not too much of a difference in performance between the RX 580 and the RX 5500 XT, but occasionally, when I started my PC, and this has actually been a thing that happened when I was still in college, my fans wouldn't spin, and it would make this weird vibrating noise onto the motherboard, and kind of like it was grinding against something. So I kind of decided, yeah, it was time for it to swap it out. And also there was graphical errors on my PC when I was playing games like Apex and Fortnite and all those. So yeah, I knew it was time to swap it out, and I didn't want to break the bank with getting a new GPU, so I did something, you know, a bit more whatchamacallit, power efficient and still basically just as powerful. So the upgrade went kind of smoothly, and god, am I impressed about how everything improved. So for this test, I'm gonna bring back Fortnite as well, since, you know, that's the main game that I play on this channel. So and some different games, since I want to make use of this 6-core processor. I've never had a 6-core processor before. It's amazing. Starting with Monster Hunter World, the game runs on high at around 60 to 70 frames per second. It stays pretty constant even during very intense fights. Monster Hunter has always been one of my favorite game franchises, but World has been a bit of an installment for me. It just kind of gets stale after you finish Iceborne. I still have fun with Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate though. I still count that as the superior game. But yeah, Monster Hunter World runs really well, and I had a good time with it. I might get bored later on, but it was pretty fun. Second game was Resident Evil 3, which I actually got because I bought the 5500 XT, and they gave me Tom Clancy's Breakpoint and Resident Evil 3 for free upon buying the GPU, and also 3 months of Xbox Game Pass for PC. And it's actually really good. I really like the Game Pass, actually. There's a lot of quality games on there. Anyways, I've never played Resident Evil 3 originally, so thank you, AMD and Capcom, for not making me go and find an old console to play it on. We got around 80 frames, mid to high 80s, and like, it's really smooth, and I really enjoy it. And I haven't gone through much of the story yet, but I'm definitely going to keep going because this is actually pretty interesting. I did not know that it was happening at the same time as Resident Evil 2, which I did play on the N64. So yeah, but I haven't gotten the remake of the game. I might have to get that one. Maybe I will one day. Third game, of course, is Fortnite. Now, I was so impressed with this one, like extremely impressed. I could barely keep above 120 frames per second on my on competitive settings when I was on my old Intel 4400. This Ryzen that I got absolutely exceeded my expectations. I was hitting a constant average of over 160 frames per second. I was blown away, absolutely blown away. And the gameplay you're seeing is actually skilled gameplay. Unlike a lot of the tech YouTubers that show Fortnite gameplay and they're literal bots. But it's a bit of a difference, isn't it? It's a nice change. Not trying to like call out all the tech YouTubers, but come on, man, it's tired seeing default skins and playing on Team Rumble. I mean, I'm playing on Team Rumble right now, but at least I'm actually jumping around, building, and doing all that, killing stuff, and actually killing some people. So yeah. Anyways, on to the next game. Fourth game was Jedi Fallen Order. This has been a game I've been meaning to play for a long while, and since Epic is doing their mega sale, use code JordonAM at checkout. I finally got a chance to play it, and I must say I'm super impressed with performance. We're getting an average of around 69 frames per second. Nice. So there you have it. I finally upgraded my PC like I said I would, and gave David a new PC. You might be wondering how much I paid for each of these builds. Well, for David's PC build, it came out at $575. It seems worth it, seeing as he can go do a lot of things with that PC. Of course, like I said, we can upgrade the CPU later. For my PC upgrades, which was a change of motherboard, RAM, GPU, and CPU, it came at $570. Funny enough, they're very close in cost, like extremely close. I did not expect them to be that close in budget cost. And I think that money was spent really well. Super impressed with the performance. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!